Hello everyone. At the age of 19 years old, I got a cleaning job where I used to be paid 15 euro per month, and out of that money, I could give my parents 5 euro, I could save 5 euro, and I could use 5 euro for the whole month. Welcome to my YouTube channel, From the Village to the Netherlands. Born and raised in Kenya, in a very local village to poor parents, and all my life has been full of struggles, pain, achievements, regrets, risk-takings, and the reason why I share to the whole world, it's because I want to encourage someone there who probably could be having such problems. And again, I have this big dream to start a girls' education foundation to help back those girls still trapped in that poor village, and their parents are so poor such that if there's no one who's coming to rescue them simply by paying their school fees, they might not realize their dreams. So by subscribing, by liking, by leaving a comment, you will have helped me to achieve this big dream. Yes, it's big, but I can conquer it. So, let me take you a little bit back my previous video, which I talked about a total stranger who came to my life and paid my school fees. And it was this young Korean man who had come to visit my uncle in Kenya. And when he went back to Korea, he talked to the parents and they started paying my school fees, which they did it so well till I finished high school. But unfortunately, I could not go to university because my parents could not still afford it. They were working so hard to provide for my siblings. I had my two sisters who were almost sitting for their final primary school, and they had to pay for them. So after 1 year in my village, I worked in a local shop, and I was also saving some money because my plan was to go to the big city, that is Nairobi, and look for a job. And that is exactly what I did. So I went to Nairobi, and luckily I'm staying with my uncle. Remember my uncle from Korea who had gone to further his studies. He got a job with one of the universities in Kenya, that is Nairobi University. He became a lecturer, and he was given a house by the university. So I used to live with him. So I started looking for jobs. Remember, I did not have any diploma. I only had my high school certificate. So I was looking for any kind of a job. Luckily, I got one. I went for the interview, and actually I was chosen, and it was a cleaning job, and the salary was 15 euro. By that time, it was 2,200 shillings per month, the whole month. Supposed to go and start cleaning in a shopping mall. It was a big one by then, and it only came the rich people. And actually, for those who are in Kenya, Nairobi, it used to be called Esso Plaza Shopping Mall. Around the Muthaiga, around about on this side, that is when you're going to Thika, it's on your left. It was called Esso Plaza. I don't know if today it has the same name or it changed. Out of the 15 euro, I could save 5 euro because I wanted, after some time, I take myself to college and I further a little bit my studies. I knew if I could start with a diploma because it was cheaper to pay for it. I knew with time after diploma, I would eventually go to the university I had dreamed of. I used to save 5 euro And I could give also my parents €5, which was a lot of money to them because they had a lot to do with my siblings. By then we were around 8, and actually 5 of 3, they were like 3 of them, they were in primary school, and 2 of them, they were almost sitting for their primary final exam, where they were supposed to go to high school. So my parents really needed this support. I could only live with by €5, whereby I was lucky that I was living with my uncle, so I was not paying rent. I only used that money for my bus fare. And of course, I remember my first month, I bought some clothes because I literally had nothing, you know. I did not even have shoes, you know. I think I came with 1 pair. So at least for the first month, I bought some clothes, you know, handbag, you know. But the rest, I was saving. After the first month, I bought my clothes and some shoes, you know, some personal things. So I started to save. I started to buy things like utensils because I had a plan as fast as I could. Look for a small apartment, and then I move out from my uncle because I really wanted to be independent. And again, I also wanted my sisters and my brothers to travel from the village to come to the city so that they can see the city, and also they come to visit me. And that's why I had a plan. Once I start living alone, at least with the freedom, I can have my siblings, when they close school for the vacation, to come and stay with me. And it's something while I was in primary, I really longed to have someone in the city, you know, someone I can go and visit, you know, because in the village, we did not imagine how the city looked. So I promised my siblings, once I go to the city, I will always make sure that you come and visit me and you see how the city looks like. I started buying things like utensils, and also I remember also bought blankets, and I bought a mattress, and somehow I was almost ready to move. So I started looking for a house, and I wanted a small apartment close to where I used to work, somewhere I could walk to my job so that I don't spend money on the bus fare. The houses around that place, there was a slum. They were charging the house 200 Kenyan shillings. The houses around where I used to work, there was a slum. For those who know Nairobi, the Mathare slums. That is where that's why I went to look for a house, and I got a small house, just one. It's like temporary house, just with iron sheets here and here. There were no floor, but at least I saved some money, and I knew I'm going to buy a bed, and then everything will be okay, and I will start the life from there. But when I sat down and I calculated, when I start living alone, this is what I'm going to be spending. It was a little more than the €5 I was spending on myself. And I never wanted to break my plan of saving €5 for my college. And I never also wanted to stop helping my parents because they really needed that money. One of the girls, she was my workmate. She was also young as me. She also told me that she would want to move out with a hand, and she would want to move out from there. So we were like, why can't we just we live together so that we can share the expenses of the house? And that was also a good idea. And actually, we never went to live in slums. We went to live in another better, close by, but it's a little bit better than the slums. The apartment was 500 Kenyan shillings. So I could pay 250 and she could pay 250, and the other expenses like electricity, water, it was not a lot of money, but we could split the bills equally. So everything was okay. She had not saved money and she had not bought utensils and some things like me, but I told her it's okay, we can come. We start, because I had a bed and I had a mattress, so I told her we can come and we start live there, and after some time she can also start buying her own things. So that is exactly how I started being independent. And remember, I was still 19 years old. So we worked, I think, for 6 months. And my friend, I remember very well, she was called Regina Maio. She had to move out of my house because she also wanted to be on her own, you know. So she moved, she got the same area, her apartment, and started living alone. Out of my €5, I could pay my house, I could manage my food, and everything was okay. So because now I was alone and I had all the freedom, at least my siblings, I remember my sisters, after they did their final exams, they came with my uncle. My uncle had gone to visit my mother back in the village, and when he was coming back, he came with them, and I stayed with them for 3 months before they went back to the village to help my mother. That was the most, satisfying moment for me, 19 years old, and having my small sisters in Nairobi. It was very fulfilling. It's like I felt, yes, this is a step forward. At least I've brought some of my family in the city from the village. It was an achievement, and I felt, yes, this is something I have achieved. And I'm telling you, it made me so happy to see those little girls. Did shopping for them. I bought for them nice dresses. I bought for them nice shoes. At the moment they were going back home, they felt so happy. And even today, my little sister, of course now they're big women, they always talk about that moment. And the next coming vacation, it's my 2 brothers who had planned to travel also to come to Nairobi, So I worked in that cleaning job for 1 full year. Then a miracle happened. It's because another total stranger offered me a better job, a better company, and better salary. So for my next video, I'm going to talk about how I met this total stranger, and which big company did I work at the age of 20 years old, and how much was I getting, and what did I do with the money. So please stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and also share and watch, And if you can also comment and tell me, how was your first job? How was it like? Did you have diplomas? Did you have certificates? Did you have degrees? Was it a cleaning job like mine? So please leave a message. And by doing this, please, you will have helped me so much to accomplish this big dream. Starting a girls' education foundation to support those poor girls from that village. Their parents cannot afford to pay their high school fees. So thank you so much, and be blessed.